right?
Again.
Can you sit down?
Wherever.
1, 3, 4, 5.
10 years ago, 1 in every 166 children were affected by this disease. Today, 1 in every 88 is affected by it. It affects more boys than it does girls, and for some reason, it affects more military families than it does civilian families. Speaking about autism, the reason that autism is so important to everybody is because of the fact that most likely every single person here knows at least one autistic child or is some way affected by that autistic child. It's important. Now, there are 3 major points in an autistic child's life. First one is diagnosis. Absolutely diagnosis. And it's the scariest part for the mom and the dad, because now all of a sudden, you don't have a special child. You have a special needs child. They're different from everybody else, and all of a sudden, you're having that pointed out to you. Once we get past that step, it's medical. Autistic children cannot communicate in the very first stages of their life. They don't communicate very well. So they can't tell you that they're hurt. They can't tell you that their tooth hurts, that they are sick, that they're feeling their tummy's bad. They also cannot tell you that they can't see their chalkboard. They can't tell you that they can't hear. So now we have to go through a whole new medical stuff as to making sure that they are taken care of. It's also not statistically proven, but it seems that every mother that I've talked to, every teacher that I've talked to, says that they have an extremely high tolerance of pain. What buckles us and brings us to our knees, they just shake it off and go, "Hey, can I have some raisins now?" Meanwhile, their legs falling off. So we have to deal with that too. Third step, and this is the most interesting step, called education and development. And that is making sure that all these kids are being taught what they need to be taught. They have to be taught in a different way. You and I, our brains go from point A to point B and we get it done. Their brain goes from point A to point Saturn to 74 before it finally gets to B. They will get to B, but they have to relearn to reroute those brain patterns. Autistic children can be productive members of society. Wow. A lot of people have paved that way. Most people don't even know that they were autistic. They're creative, they're funny, and they are extremely smart in a different way. Here's your light bulb moment. The reason that you have a light bulb moment,
Wow.
Thomas Edison invented it. Thomas Edison was autistic. Abraham Lincoln changed the history, the course of United States history. He was autistic.
Wow.
Beethoven's fifth. One of the greatest composers to live. He was autistic. The reason I can actually work a computer, Bill Gates invented Microsoft Windows. He was autistic. 200 years of scientific research was thrown down the tubes, turned the entire scientific history on its course. Einstein was autistic. His IQ test was in the 90s.
Wow.
80 is considered retarded.
Daddy. Wow, Daddy.
Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo was autistic. You might be wondering why I'm carrying around a pillow, and my notes are on a piece of aluminum foil instead of an index card. Not because I ran out of index cards, but because in my son's hands, this is an amazing invention. And I don't think I ever even considered it. Declan is my son, and he's autistic. That's what they tell him. I say he's artistic. Because this and this, turn my back, created the cotton dragon and that.
Ooh.
This is our future. It's a future. And I think it's an amazing one. And I think we need to look into this. Stop. I kept getting in trouble by thanking my audience